when I heard the news that Dorothy Gill Barnes had passed away, it's always a shock when you hear anyone passing away, but for her, it was, for that particular person, I think I've known her since the 1990s when she was here, and that's when I met her, maybe even before that, and then subsequently hired her to teach in master workshops and week-long, 2-week workshops. So it's just a joy to have her on campus. But when I heard the news of her passing, I thought of an interesting story for me that was kind of moving, and it has kind of always stayed in my mind. But it was 10 o'clock at night during the week that she was teaching here, and I was working in my office late, and someone tapped on my window, and it was Dorothy. And so I opened the window, and it was 10 o'clock at night, and I wondered what she was doing up, and she had just come back from going for ice cream downtown, which I thought was great. And she said, "Bill, can you find a work study or a studio assistant that can help me cut up some logs for my demo in the morning? I just need a little help." And so immediately I thought, oh gosh, I wonder if I can find a studio assistant at 10 o'clock at night. So I said to her, well, maybe I could help you. I can handle a chainsaw. I'm not the best, but I know how to start one, and I think I can cut a 12-inch log without hurting anyone. And she looked at me and said, "Oh, Bill, I don't need you to cut the log. I just need someone to spot me." And with that, first of all, I was relieved I didn't have to cut the log, and second of all, it just brought out the true Dorothy Gill Barnes. Just such an amazing woman. That was at 87. I checked. That last time she taught here was 6 years ago, and she just died at 93. So she was 87, and here it was 10 o'clock at night, and she was firing up a chainsaw. I should be so lucky in my life to do that in my 70s. So, another thing about Dorothy that is a word that I always remember. She taught me the word dendroglyph. I never knew what that word was, but it's a technique that she would actually scar the bark of trees on Arrowmont's campus with interesting patterns, and then in 2 or 3 years when she came back, she would harvest that bark and use it in her workshops and also in many of her sculptures, several that are photographs in American Craft. But I remember the word dendroglyph, and it stuck with me. And I also remember when she would scar the trees, she drew a map. She gave me a map, and she kept a map. And so in 2 years when she came back, she would take the class, and they would go, and she would show the photographs before and 2 years later. The thing I remember as an administrator is every time maintenance were starting to cut down trees, I'd have to run up to make sure they didn't cut down the dendroglyph trees, and they thought I was crazy, and I thought I was crazy too. But I'll always remember Dorothy in that respect. She'll always be remembered as an amazing artist, and her artwork and her catalogs will live on. But I think whoever had a workshop with her, or whoever was lucky enough to meet her, will always remember how kind and gentle and humble she was as a person too.